ask you that, like, am I doing anything right now?
Besides talking and looking at me?
No. Right? You'd say that. But my body is doing like a million functions right now. Right?
Yeah.
Right? There's a whole bunch of systems working in harmony, and they're working in a perfect symbiotic balance, right? With the environment around it. And how all this stuff, like where the universe came from, where, how humanity has come to what it has been, like how we are, like, literally talking right now, like I was saying earlier, is incredible.
I got the sage burning up in the crib. Shawty wanna see how I live. First I gotta see what a vibe like. You know that it come for good the whole night. Pain on a young nigga's mind. Meditate all of the time.
Is very much attached to desires, because if you are so, like, your desires can very much easily lead you astray. Because if you attach yourself so, like, purely to, like, a belief or a goal, that you let the goal steer the direction your life is going, like, that's very dangerous. Because look no further than, like, belief systems leading people to war, like the Crusades of Christianity, or like
divide.
Yes.
Separation,
like persecution, all
within
driven
yourself too. Like, I'm sorry, I'll interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
Like this is what you said last time. Like, you deplete yourself of, like, just normal pleasures, right? Because you're so focused on that goal.
Yeah. And that's like, you will literally give your life to see someone else's dream come true.
Yeah. Even though that dream might not come true.
Yeah, exactly. And even like, it's a false dream too.
Yeah.
Like, it's a dream conjured up by someone else's idea.
Yeah. And, like, there's nothing wrong, like, these desires, right, can, like, turn into beliefs, right? And because, like, it's not a fact that it's reality right now. It's not a fact that it's reality right now, right? That desire is a vision within your mind, right? Within the imagination. And, like, but until that vision manifests, it's not a real reality.
Yeah.
And kind of like what you were saying, like, we get so caught up in the imaginary, right? Like, well, what I want to see in the future, what I want to manifest, what I want from my mind to physical, right? And, like, the life circumstance, the life situation, and kind of, it can take over your life, like you were saying. Like, all your attention will be on that idea, that concept that you have in your life. And 9 times out of 10, you might get, like, bits and pieces of that idea. Very rarely does it, like, fully, completely, like, get into that. Like, obviously it depends on the goal. It depends on, like, what your vision is. But when you, like I said earlier, like, when I interrupted you, like, you deplete yourself of natural pleasures, right? And just, like, just hanging out with friends, staring at Hayden's face, and trying your hardest not to laugh, and I know, but you're just such a funny dude. It's just like,
chip in, actually.
No, yeah, dude, join, man. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, like, when you, like, when you just, you ruin the present moment, right?
Yeah.
And it's because your attention, like,
It's on the future.
It's on the future, right?
Or something imaginary.
Yeah, imaginary. Yeah, which is essentially in the past or the future. Like, I gotta redeem myself because I lost, or I didn't become successful in this, or, and I've got to redeem myself in the future by constantly working towards, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But you've got to find a balance. You got to find a medium, a middle ground between the two. And if you can develop that middle ground between the two and kind of, like, know where you're going while being present, right? Because you can be present while knowing where you're going, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like walking to class, right? Like, I can be present, listening to the birds, listening to the present moment sensory sounds around me while knowing where I'm going, right? And so it's, like, kind of in that, like, it's, once again, you gotta be able to recognize those desires, but not let those desires control you.
Yeah.
Would you like to say something?
Oh, my friend's exactly like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my friend's, like, super into stock market.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And it's all he does. He doesn't sleep anymore. He, like, stays up, super late. Yeah. He looks like that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'd, like, talk to him. I'm like, hey, man, you don't look okay. And he's like, no, I wanna be rich. I wanna, like, make that money. You gotta make that dough somehow.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, but, like, when's the last time you had, like, a full meal? And he was like, 4 weeks ago. And I was like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't... Yeah.
Well, that's that thing. Like, that's a perfect example of someone chasing an empty pursuit that's ruining their life.
Well, it's, like, not empty. I understand. Like,
it's very hard. It's very hard to, like, get to to beat the market, as they say, you know. And I think Warren Buffett, like one of the best like financial gurus out there, right? He said like only like 1 to 5% of I forget what the actual term is for people who like do that type of stuff.
Stockbrokers?
Yeah, not stockbrokers, but it's a different type of term.
Traders?
Traders.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that, right? It's because it's very hard because like you said, you got to be on it 24/7.
Yeah,
that has to like
stocks change like
exactly right, and it's a system in itself.
Yeah.
But you know, and whether you're willing to sacrifice your own well-being for an arbitrary system is up to you. And like, listen, it's if you want to do that, I respect it. I understand where you're coming from, but like, kind of from an objective viewpoint, when you're just like, you know, from someone who's not in it and can just like observe and see what the hell's going on, you're like,
it's crazy.
It's crazy, and you're like, you're literally ruining your life. You haven't had a full meal, like a basic need, in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like it's the double-edged sword.
Yeah, exactly.
You
And
know?
that's the thing. It's just like, once you have what you want, what do you have then besides the thing you've been chasing? Like, you have deprived yourself of basic human function. Like, you not eating in 4 weeks, not talking to your friends for money. It's a
belief. It's a belief that's manifested.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, it's that whole thing you were talking about. Like, you take $1 that has value in the United States, but you take it over to the Congo. That's a piece of paper. You can't eat paper. Like, and like, if you're just chasing over this
idea,
like, that's not fulfilling you.
Yeah,
it's actually taking away from you.
It's doing more damage than good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't allow that to happen.
It's
like that is a case study in what not to do.
Yeah, and what not to do, and it's like you have to be very careful when it comes to your desires.
Extremely,
because you know there is instinctual desires like fight or flight, right? And there's also like instinctual desires like like your animal, like we are animals, like right? Believe it or not, like humans, like do not recognize it, but we are animals, just like every other creature, right? We're just a different type of category that we've named, at least, you know.
Yeah.
And we have like instinctual desires to have like sex, right? To enjoy pleasures, you know, just different type of stuff like that. That is intuitive. That is like innate, right? But those desires that kind of that we imagine within our minds, right? Like we're like after like from what we've experienced, right? Well, what fields we've been in, right? So it could be working out with a mixture of like science. You're like, oh, I want to be an exercise science major, or like something like that, you know, and you're like, you have that vision, right? But you recognize and realize that vision does not hold you down, right? You're not tied down by that vision, right? You enjoy the present moment while also moving towards what you want in life, which there is nothing wrong with, right? But you cannot see yourself as less than, you know what I mean? And like in the sense that like, okay,
don't put your desires above yourself.
Exactly. And like relative to the standard that you're setting, like, okay, within this system, like I am currently 60% of being like a veterinarian, right? Because like for school, experience, internship, right? Until I get all those things, then I'll be a veterinarian, right? And so like when you kind of place the external over the internal, like literally what you were just saying, it ruins your peace of mind. It ruins like what you genuinely like to do. It ruins your present moment, and it takes away from just your life in general, you know, because that stuff is great, you know, it's great because you want to do something, you want to help animals, right, or you want to help individuals, you want to become like a counselor or something, but when you see yourself as less than, right, because within your mind, you believe that, like, you're not that standard yet, you're like, oh, shit, man, like, I'm not who I want to be, but, like, you within that moment here and now, like,
you are who you are.
Yeah, you are who you are. And belief aside, bullshit aside, comparison standards, right? All that type of stuff, you've got to realize that there is something about you that is literally undescribable. Like, how the heck, like when you really think about this type of stuff, like, desires aside, it's kind of like a little side note, but when you look at, like, how we're talking right now, how we understand each other, right? How we're speaking a language, how there is, like, when I ask you that, like, am I doing anything right now?
Besides talking and looking at me?
No. Right? You'd say that. But my body is doing like a million functions right now. Right? Right? It's there's a whole bunch of systems working in harmony, and they're working in a perfect symbiotic balance, right, with the environment around it, and how all this stuff, like where the universe came from, where how humanity has come to what it has been, like how we are like literally talking right now, like I was saying earlier, is incredible, right? And it's just like we take that for granted, like myself included, right? I don't even feel like that grateful talking about it because I'm just so used to it. And it's like that type of stuff, those unrecognized, I guess you could say, dull desires that we have, and not even really desires, but dull things we have already, right, kind of get taken for granted. And you have to realize what you already have. And even though we have desires, and they're okay to venture into, recognize what you already have.
Yes. Sage burning up in the crib. Shawty wanna see how I live. First I gotta see you with a vibe like. You know that it come for good the whole night. Pain on a young nigga's mind. Meditate.